Hi, my name is Faye Pappas, and I'm a personal injury attorney with the law firm of Bailey, Fisher in Winter Park, Florida. And on behalf of the Orange County Bar Association, I hope that I can convince you to purchase what's called uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage, because I believe it may help save your life and the life of your families. So let's begin. Start by sharing the screen here. Go. All right, so welcome to Car Insurance Coverage Basics and why uninsured motorist coverage is such a lifesaver. Again, my name is Faye Pappas. I'm a personal injury attorney, and let's begin. So honestly, if you remember nothing else from this presentation, for the third time, just remember to buy uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. By the end of this presentation, you'll understand why this special coverage, this coverage, is the only real car insurance you can buy. And you'll also learn it's not required in the state of Florida. So this is what we call a declaration or deck page. This is the mumble jumble the insurance companies give you to make you believe you're giving them money for useful coverage. And it looks impressive, right? We're not going to go over all the nitty-gritties. Today, we're just going to focus on the big stuff. We're going to focus on what you think you're buying when you buy car insurance and what you actually need to get. So first off is a section here, it's called automobile liability insurance. Here, this is some sample from the internet, but this one's broken up between liability insurance and bodily injury, property damage. All right, so liability insurance, that's when you're responsible. Get it? Liability, you're liable, you've done something wrong. This is a major hint that this part of your insurance coverage is all about fixing your mistakes. That's right. This is insurance coverage not for you, but for a person or property you've hurt. And we'll talk about that more in a second. Here's the property damage part again, bing, bing, bing. This is in the part to do with liability. This is for other people, other things, nothing to help you. Second part in lovely green, the underinsured or uninsured, it's used interchangeably, motorist insurance. Again, this crazy one separates it out by bodily injury and property damage, but it's one and the same. Underinsured motorist insurance is just that. It is insurance for if, and in Florida, when you're struck by somebody who has no insurance coverage or just not enough to take care of you, right? And there's also something else, and that's called collision insurance. And what is collision insurance and why is it different than property damage? Up next. So now the basics. Here it is. Liability bodily injury coverage. This is money for someone else, literally money you're purchasing for someone else. And I'm going to stop here for a moment before we go back to the again and simply say this. I see people all the time the day after the worst day of their lives, because the worst day of their life was when the horrific car accident happened that maimed them or killed their loved one. All right? And too many times when they speak with me and when I meet with them in my office or in the hospital, I have to break the bad news to them that they are at the mercy of whatever insurance coverage the person who did this to them has, if the person who has ruined their life has any insurance coverage to begin with. And guess what? People who cause bad crashes or crashes at all typically aren't that responsible to get enough coverage that you'll need to move on with your life. Just a heads up. So again, liability insurance coverage, not money for you. That's if you plan on hurting somebody else. Those limits will apply to your victims. All right. Another thing about this, insurance adjusters, insurance companies, the cute little Geico gecko with the smart mouth on TV, this is what he actually sells. When people say we sell you car insurance, they're selling you liability policy limits because they look at you as the aggressor. And they're just trying to give you some coverage for when they think you hurt someone else. Nothing to do to cover your own injuries, your own lost wages, your own damages. But again, I belabor the point. In other words, BI is for someone else. See, I could just summed it up in a few words here. Property damage coverage. Again, the playing around with words. Property damage coverage is money to repair the vehicle that you damage. So again, liability and property damage coverage go hand in hand. Liability, bodily injury coverage for the human victim. Property damage coverage for the stuff of your human victim you've destroyed, like their car, their mailbox, the stuff they had in their car, and even the death of their pets in the crash you caused. All right? But again, this is what insurance companies sell you. So if you have car insurance, chances are, like 99 out of 100, this is what you were sold. And this is all you were sold. And you think, because you're watching this right now, that this is all you need. Well, actually, what you need to add to your coverage is the insurance to work for you. Uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage is money you purchase for yourself. It's the only money you can purchase for yourself. And by money, you know I mean insurance policy limits, the $10,000, $20,000, $2 million if you want. Insure yourself, right? Insure yourself against the risk of being hurt by someone who either has no coverage at all, welcome to Florida, we'll talk about how bad our statistics are here in a second, or simply doesn't have enough coverage to cover your damages. Easy way to remember this, UM is for you. Yes, I think I'm very clever, but it makes sense, right? UM is for you. That's all there is for you that you can purchase in a car insurance to protect yourself. And it has a little brother called collision coverage. And collision coverage is all you can purchase to protect your own stuff. So if you're in a crash and you're hurt and your car is totaled, right? You can either hope and wish and pray that the person who did this to you has enough property damage, has paid enough money to their car insurance company to have some amount of money available to you so they can pay for your car. You have to hope, wish, and pray they even have that. Or you can be proactive and make sure you have collision coverage so you don't have to be anybody else's mercy. So that you don't have to hope, wish, and pray your lawyer can find coverage to take care of your damages. So that you don't have to hope, wish, and pray you don't have a way forward. So again, UM is for you, and don't forget its little brother, collision coverage to take care of your car. Why care? And there may be many of you watching here, and I wouldn't blame you. You would go, listen, that sounds great, but I'm going to roll the dice. I know I have to have insurance coverage of some variety because this is Florida, and yes, it is a law. I won't go into the statutes, but why do I care if I have extra insurance? I just rather be legal, keep my rates as low as possible. So what? Well, this is why. According to the Insurance Research Council, and these are people in the insurance industry, more than 13% of all drivers are uninsured nationwide. Okay, 13%. Doesn't sound good, it doesn't sound too terrible. But check what happens in our wonderful state. Florida, yes, here, has the highest percentage of uninsured motorists on the road in the country. Of course we do. Of course we do, because we're Florida. And that comes out to 26.7% as of 2019. So again, in Florida, you have a greater than a 1 out of 4 chance of being struck by a completely uninsured motorist. Folks, that's not just not enough. That means they have nothing. Nothing. Okay? To heck with the law, according to 1 out of 4 people in the state of Florida. They don't care. Now, we can speculate as to why. So what? It is. So again, let's think about the gamble we're taking here. We know for certain 1 out of 4 will have zero, nothing to help you at all. Then just think about the fact that of the 3 out of 4 chances you have, how many of those chances are going to have enough insurance coverage to matter? Because guess what, folks? You're not counted in that 1 out of 4 chance of being completely uninsured if you have the minimum policy limits. And the minimum policy limits in Florida are $10,000. Guess what? One night at any Central Florida hospital, one night. And you know, you can debate with me all you want, but I do this for a living. I see the bills. One night at a Central Florida hospital can come out to over $75,000. Okay? Don't take my word for it. We have statistics with a graphic. So here we are. Here's what I was citing. Insurance Research Council, they do nothing but try to figure out where they have markets in terms of who needs more insurance, right? So they have an incentive to get this right. And here it is, nice little picture. No, really, it's true. Florida, 26.7%. We're only going up. This is bad. This is really bad. All right, and think of how many more of those folks really aren't just going to have enough insurance coverage to make a difference for you and your family when you need it the most. So, have I scared you enough? Frightening you has not been my intention. Empowering you with knowledge is. Because listen, the dirty secret is insurance companies are not incentivized to sell you the right insurance. They're only incentivized to sell you something to take your money. Think about where the incentive lies. Why are you being sold liability insurance coverage only and then made to believe you don't need anything else? Because they're probably looking at your driving record and they say, hey, you're a pretty safe driver. So we're going to sell you insurance we don't think you're actually going to need to use. Because if you have to use your liability coverage, that means you caused a crash, right? And insurance companies don't make money if they pay claims. They lose money. They make money by taking your premiums and sitting on them and then keeping you as a wonderful, safe driver so they never have to pay a claim in your life. That's how they make money. Therefore, if they get into a habit of educating you about the fact you have the ability to purchase uninsured motorist coverage, who's going to pay that uninsured motorist coverage claim? It's your insurance company now because you've paid for that right to be protected in case you are the victim of a crash, the victim. So yeah, to my point, the insurance companies don't have an incentive to educate you about the types of insurance you have available to you in Florida. They don't. Their incentive, again, is to sell you only liability coverage, to tell you to deselect the option to carry uninsured motorist coverage because they think you're a pretty decent driver. And according to their numbers, and they know best, there's a high risk in Florida, higher than any place else in the country. You're going to get into a crash and you're going to have to need your uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. So this is not the state they want to be getting into the habit of selling underinsured motorist coverage if you're an insurance company and you want to keep the premiums you're collecting. Make sense? All right, so again, how to see if you do carry the right insurance coverages? Today, it's so easy. Every insurance company imaginable that operates in the US now has a free app. You can download the free app, take your card, your physical card, auto card if you have one, input your little policy number into the app, and there should be an easy way to actually check your insurance coverage. You can get what's called that declarations page I started with here today, right? And then literally look for the words uninsured motorist coverage and collision coverage. Many times, this is where people discover that unbeknownst to them, the uninsured / underinsured coverage box has been deselected. And there's a little word that says rejected next to it. Big problem. If you can't easily navigate online or you don't have access to a computer or a smartphone, call your car insurance company. Turn your physical card around. There should be a toll-free number there. Speak with an agent, and you may discover they are not enthusiastic about selling you underinsured motorist and collision coverage. No, you're a good driver. You're more likely to be a victim of a crash than the perpetrator of one. You're not the person they want to sell insurance coverage to that you might actually have to use in a state like Florida. So don't be shocked. Just say, I know the letters UM and I know what they mean. Give me a quote and go from there. So again, I'm going to move my little box. Stop paying for nothing. Stop paying for nothing. Please don't be the next person or loved one of yours I speak with whom I have to break the news. There's nothing I, as a lawyer, can do for them on the day after the worst day of their life because they didn't buy the right insurance coverage. Please. Adding UM and collision coverage to your car policy, this says could, but I will tell you will save your family and you from financial ruin. Folks, thank you so much. Again, my name is Faye Pappas. If you have any questions, feel free to go to our website, baileyfisherlaw.com, or call my office at 407-628-2929. I hope this helped. Feel free to send any comments along. And again, what do you need to get when you purchase car insurance? Uninsured motorist coverage and collision. Everybody asks me, because I'm a lawyer, oh, which company should I go with? The answer again is, I don't care. Just have UM coverage and collision. And when the worst day comes, God forbid, you can have some peace of mind. God bless and stay well. Thank you.